Hi, I'm Brendan Lowe.
And I'm Diane Harmon. Thanks for joining us for another episode of CCSD News and Review. We have lots of school news today, so let's get started.
Our lead story today is about parents. Community school coordinators are parents' first point of contact in schools, but for years, many schools did not include the position. After bringing on 11 new coordinators this summer, Superintendent Rahanafard announced in an October progress report that there is now a community school coordinator in each and every school. Nearly half of the coordinators now speak Spanish, which better reflects our family's needs. In addition, more than half of the coordinators reside in Camden. From conducting home visits to holding parent workshops, community school coordinators will open up all kinds of doors for family involvement throughout the city.
Speaking of parents, dozens of them came to Caddo Family School in late September for the district's 39th annual Fireside Chat. Hosted by Marilyn Torres of the District Parent Center, the Fireside Chat gave parents an opportunity to hear directly from the superintendent and members of his team, including Family and Community Engagement Chief Tia Morris. Questions touched on technology, enrollment, school support, and of course, family involvement. After the large group discussion, the superintendent's team broke up into small groups to answer individual concerns from parents.
In the schools, October's great weather meant a number of outdoor activities. At Wiggins, 4th grade students are planting mums, lettuce, and many other plants. The new school garden is made possible through a grant received this summer by Miss Devine through the New Jersey Agricultural Society. At the garden and in the classroom, students are engaging in hands-on learning to deepen their knowledge of math and science.
These ones is one from the classroom. We put them in here.
And is the bottom of the cups empty?
No, the bottom of the cup.
That's what they're making like more.
Just
But
like
we put the
this.
seeds in it, so they, it's like the seeds, but we put an extra layer of cup. So what's the
And mine's like a lot.
So some water could come down.
Look, mine's like a lot.
Yeah, see? These are daffodils?
These is
Those are bean plants. Those are beans.
These
Oh.
beans.
Daffodils she planted for next year, so they'll come up in the spring.
Got it.
These
not daffodils. Daffodils you plant them next year so they can come up in the spring.
At Sumner, students were also in their school garden, including during a tribute to the one and only Johnny Appleseed. At Caddo, Miss Massiantonio and Miss Gross's 3rd graders celebrated their love of nature with TD Tree Day volunteers at Stockton Park. The district donated 200 bags of extra mulch to the volunteers, who planted 100 trees in East Camden. In addition, more than 150 students from multiple schools participated in an exciting project on the Delaware River, as the superintendent reported at October's board meeting.
I just want to shout a few last district highlights here. Some of you may remember at our last board meeting there were a couple individuals who came from an organization representing the Canoe Mobile effort, which they encouraged us to participate in, and we followed up. It's actually free to the district, and we had 150 students from Coopers Point, Wiggins, and Bryn Medical Arts participate, and they is really a first of its kind for the school district, as far as I've been made aware. In the past, the district hasn't allowed trips on water, and so we of course followed all precautionary measures, and the students were able to explore the Delaware River, and so they were able to absorb aquatic species, test the quality of the water, learn about the history and culture of the Delaware River and the city itself. So it was a neat trip. We got a lot of positive feedback from our students.
At that same board meeting, Superintendent Rahanafard released the 3rd quarterly progress report on the Camden Commitment, the school district's strategic plan. Every 3 months, the superintendent gives updates about how the district is doing to meet the promises it set out in January when it released the plan.
We are going to talk through a number of district updates, and I want to first begin by talking through our quarterly Camden Commitment progress report. We made a public commitment when we announced our strategic plan that every 3 months we would tell you how we're doing. And these updates just serve to reflect various initiatives that are underway. So as it relates to our first 2 promises on student safety, we're excited to report that more than 700 safe corridor maps have been distributed to families throughout the community, and every school has it posted in a visible location near the entrance. for improving the state of our facilities, and the technology in those facilities, we have now delivered 4,800 laptops to schools. So we made a commitment to deploy a large number of laptops to schools, and just this week, approximately 480 of them were distributed to staff and to students. For student support and better quality instruction, we actually have a guest with us today that's going to talk about one of our pilot programs, Positive Behavior Support in Schools, Ms. Rosen from HB Wilson. You'll hear from her in a moment, and that's one of the initiatives underway. We've also partnered with City Hall for a Youth Justice Forum, which is really intended to provide peer-to-peer mentoring. So students meet with one another to troubleshoot issues and provide really an early intervention for high school students who are at the risk of dropping out. For better quality instruction and overall teaching and learning, we continue to work hard to provide one-to-one instructional coaching for all of our school leaders, and we've supported all of our principals through twice monthly coaching sessions, as we've discussed here before. For service to families, we've had a number of announcements for those of you that haven't been able to catch up with some of the news as reported by our local publications here. First of all, I want to highlight the community school coordinators. Not every school has had a community school coordinator here in the district for a very long time, and we prioritized that in our budget, and we hired 11 community school coordinators over the course of the summer and this school year, so that every school now has a community school coordinator, and that is critical in that those community school coordinators are connective tissue with family members and the rest of the community. And in meeting families where they are so that they can better support their students, we need those staff members who have roots in the community, who have relationships in the community, and help us do that really important work. We also provided translation equipment at all large public meetings, this meeting, of course, being included. And that was another investment we made to, again, meet families where they are and ensure that we can properly communicate with them. And then lastly, for central office effectiveness, for the first week of the school year, where it's obviously a really busy time, a number of families are showing up, enrolling their students, a number of issues come up during that first week, we were able to respond to all issues that came within at least 3 days of having received those issues. In some cases, we resolved them in the moment. In other cases, we certainly did the follow-up work. And then would also add that we're trying to provide better professional development for our central office staff.
October was also National Bullying Prevention Month, and schools and central office employees actively took a stand. October 22nd is known as Unity Day, and opponents of bullying were asked to wear orange to show a united stand. We received lots of pictures of students and staff showing their support, from the Early Childhood Development Center to Bonsall, which said no to bullying with a thumbs down, all the way to the central office. Check out more of these pictures.
We wrap up school news today with Where School Begins, preschool. The Early Childhood Development Center hosted Preschool Night in October. Preschool Night is an annual event that invites parents of future preschool students to tour the center and learn about the program. Early childhood education is a critical start for students, and many parents responded through a great turnout.
And now it's time for sports. After a series of 3 tough wins, the Camden High Panther football team advanced its record to 7-0. The games, which are now shown on replay on CCSD-TV, were all against teams that were previously unbeaten. First up was Camden Catholic, in a home game attended by Governor Chris Christie. The Panther defense gave up as many points as it had all season, 14, and they were down at the half. But a 21-point second half, capped by Khalif Williams' touchdown run and Brad Hawkins' 52-yard interception return for a touchdown, sealed the win.
Next up was Glassboro. Quarterback Khalil Williams got the team off to a strong start with first quarter touchdown passes of 25 yards to Jameer Washington and 67 yards to Brad Hawkins. After a 20-0 halftime lead, Hawkins galloped 39 yards for another touchdown, and Camden cruised to a 30-13 win.
And finally, there was Bishop Eustace. In a daytime game played on homecoming Saturday, the Camden defense came up big, limiting Bishop Eustace to a field goal and a safety. Khalil Williams ran and threw for touchdowns in the second quarter, and the halftime score of 27-5 would be how the game ended. Attention now turns to the playoffs and the big Thanksgiving Day game against Woodrow Wilson.
And now it's time for this week's Principal Profile.
We're here today with Principal Laura Boyce of Hatch Family School, here to celebrate the opening of Kaboom and talk about Miss Boyce and her role here as principal. So can you first tell us how long you've been here at Hatch?
Yes, this is my second year as the proud principal of Hatch Family School.
Great, and we had hundreds of people here today. Can you tell us why so many folks were here earlier today?
Sure, so today was our playground build day, and we were accepted as a Kaboom playground site several months ago, and today was the day we were working toward. We had over 200 volunteers from SAP software company as well as from our community coming out to build an entire playground in one day, and here it is.
And why did you seek out this opportunity and go through the months of work and engage so many parents and teachers in this process?
So Cooper B. Hatch Family School was originally a middle school and has only had elementary grades for 3 years. And because of that, we don't really have a place for younger children to play. And when I came to Hatch, a lot of parents shared with me their frustration that their students didn't have a place to play during the day. There was not recess built into the schedule, and students didn't have that outlet to get their energy out in a safe and productive way. And we sometimes saw the consequences of that in the classroom as students got their energy out in class instead. And so I was familiar with the Kaboom program, and they bring neighborhoods that haven't had playgrounds, they bring playgrounds there. And so we started the application process back in December and immediately had a really committed group of parents that were passionate about this project. And so it's been a huge team effort. It's been a great project to bring the community together.
So tell us, what do you hope that your students get out of having this incredible facility now on your school grounds?
So now that we have this facility, we're able to offer recess as part of our school day, which means that every day our students are going to get 22 minutes of exercise and a time for socialized play. So we really know that the research shows that having that time for exercise is great for students' social development. It's great for their ability to concentrate and their ability to learn. We expect to see increased achievement. We expect to see a decrease in behavior incidents and an increase in happy children.
That's fantastic. And can you just tell us a little bit more about Hatch and what makes your school special and unique? Now, certainly the playground does as well, but tell us more about Hatch.
Sure. So Hatch is a great community, and we talk about really putting the family in the family school. We have a really committed group of parents that work with us at Hatch, as well as a really committed staff. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is offering individual supports to students to help them get where they need to be, as well as making sure that students develop the leadership and social skills that they need to be successful as well. And we really talk constantly about how we can achieve our vision, which is all students earning the academic skills, the personal strengths, and the character strengths to succeed in college, achieve their dreams, and change the world.
That's fantastic. And can you tell us just a little bit more about yourself and your own kind of educational background growing up?
Sure. I was born in Virginia, grew up in Virginia and North Carolina, and went to public schools there. So I'm a product of public schools and really committed to neighborhood schools. I went to college at Princeton University up in New Jersey, which is how I came to be in this area. And I've been in this area ever since college. I started my teaching career in Philadelphia and taught in the Philadelphia public schools there, and came to Camden within the past 2 years. And so I'm really excited about making sure that all students have the opportunity to earn the great education that I was able to benefit from.
And from your own time as a teacher and earlier before that as a student, did any of those experiences impact who you are now as a school leader in your community?
I loved school growing up. I loved my teachers. I loved learning. I loved reading. And for me, just my education is, I consider, the biggest blessing that I've received. And so that's what drives me in education, is wanting all students to feel that way about their own education and to really discover that love of learning and find that every student has a passion, every student has something that they're good at, and our job at the school is to help them figure out what that is and how they can achieve it.
And a lot of students and staff and families obviously know you as Principal Boyce, but can you tell us just one thing that they might not expect of Principal Boyce?
I am an avid runner. I am training for my 4th marathon, which is coming up in about 3 weeks, and I play 3 musical instruments.
What are the musical instruments?
I play piano, guitar, and some banjo.
Wow, that's fantastic. And just moving forward, what do you hope as Hatch moves forward? What do you hope Hatch continues to become, and as your students move through the school, as they graduate, they look back at Hatch and say, what?
We really want students and families to look at Hatch as the place where they really became the person that they wanted to be. And so we really focus on helping students to discover their passion and then to pursue that. Our goal is for Hatch to be the most desired neighborhood school in the city of Camden, and we tell students constantly we've got the hardest working teachers in the district, we've got the hardest working students in the district, and with that combination there's nothing we can't do.
Well, that's fantastic, and this playground is certainly something where students will be able to explore their passions as well, so a great addition to the school community as well. So thank you, Principal Boyce, for your time here. This week's guest interview features Durand Garner, the General Manager of the district's school food program. Durand and his team play an active role in schools, meeting regularly with students to respond to feedback and make sure students are getting delicious and nutritious meals.
My name is Durand Garner. I'm the Director of the Food Service Program for the Camden City School District. I've been here for about 5 years now. I'm the manager responsible for opening up this account for Aramark in the school district. Aramark's been around for a long time. It's transformed in many, many different ways. They have a bunch of shared services. It's a really, really good company to work for. They do schools, they do business services, they do stadiums, they do hospitals, they do zoos, aquariums, they do custodial, uniforms. They do a bunch of different things. But currently what we provide to the Camden City School District, we just currently do food services. But Aramark has an array and a vast majority of different options they have available. I currently oversee 35 locations where we serve meals in the school district. I have a management team of 11 employees. I have a total team of 330 employees. So we basically supervise the breakfast, lunch, after-school snacks, supper, catering, vended meals. We supervise all those programs on a day-to-day basis for the Camden City School District. Our ultimate role is to enrich and nourish the lives of the students that we have in the Camden City School District. I mean, like I said before, we provide breakfast, lunch, after-school snacks, supper, vended meals, catering services. Not only do we want to provide meals, but we want to help improve the nutritional awareness of our students within the community. We want to become aware and be partners within the community with some of our partners in the South Jersey Food Bank and some other organizations around the city to help childhood obesity, help hunger awareness, and do different things like that. So not only are we here just to serve the students, we're here to serve the community at large. The guidelines are set forth for us to meet the minimum requirements set by the USDA, which is a child must take 3 out of 4 food items for breakfast and 3 out of 5 food items for lunch. So we try to maximize the options that we supply to our students and make sure that our students are taking all 4 components at breakfast and all 5 components at lunch. And how we do that is trying to offer as much nutrition and acceptable friendly items we can throughout the day, so our students feel like they have a program where they can come in and really enjoy the dining ambiance. So the types of foods that we serve on a daily basis to our students here consist of a bunch of different components. For breakfast, there are 4 components. For lunch, there are 5. So the 4 components for breakfast are grain, protein, milk, and fruit. So on a day-to-day basis, we offer fresh fruits, canned fruits, 100% fruit juice. Some of the different things we offer for breakfast in terms of proteins and grains. We offer pancakes, French toast, waffles, egg patties, scrambled eggs, bagels, biscuits, English muffins, different things, a large variety, yogurt, light and fit yogurt at that. And then we offer skim milk, 1% milk, chocolate milk, lactate milk as our milk option. For lunch, we try to change the status quo. We still have those same options available for breakfast at lunch, but we also add the component of vegetables for lunch is the 5th component. So for our vegetable component, we like to offer on a daily basis fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. We'll do things like celery sticks, carrot sticks, cauliflower, broccoli, side salads, different things like that. And then our cooked vegetables. We'll do things like corn, carrots, collard greens, yams, different things like that. In terms of milk, we still offer the same milk options for lunch that we offer at breakfast. For our entrees and our proteins and different things like that, we try to focus this year on higher quality, leaner meats than we have in the past. So this year we rolled out whole muscle chicken products such as whole muscle meat chicken tenders like you'll see in like a Chick-fil-A, whole muscle chicken patties, home style, that are breaded like you would get from like a Chick-fil-A as well as some grilled chicken options. We rolled out like meatloaf, Salisbury steak, we have quesadillas, mac sticks, we have homemade pizza that we make in our secondary schools, middle schools and high schools, the locations that have the ability to do more food production. We're actually making more food from scratch in those schools. So year after year after year, we're trying to grow in our program and what we're able to offer to the students, and we're going to continue to push that status quo as long as we're here. For the past 3 years, we've tried to grow our program, and in the past few years we've done a few things. So one, we've opened up the cafeteria in the administration building. We call it the Front Street Cafeteria. We've also been able to pilot and spearhead a program and fully implement what's called a breakfast in the classroom program. So in every one of our schools, we have some sort of modified food service program where the students have options outside of just going to the cafeteria to really partake in breakfast. So not only do we serve it in the cafeteria, we serve it in the hallway off of like breakfast kiosk stations, or we deliver it right to the students. Our program now, we're trying to take the program to the students. And I know a lot of times the contemporary way is have the students come to the cafeteria and get what they want. Here, we're trying to push it, take it up a notch and be forward and take the food in our program to the students to show that we really care about childhood nutrition. In addition to that, this year we were successfully able to be awarded the community eligibility program. So not only is all of our meals free for breakfast and after school snack, but they're also free for lunch now. So every child, every student in Camden that's in our program has the ability to take part of a universal free dining program for breakfast, lunch, snack, supper. Every meal for the students in Camden City School District are free now. So we're going to continue to work on that and build on that momentum and continue to drive the program for the school district. I know some people may view us as a vendor, but I don't view what we do here as a vendor. We are partners, and we want to beat to the drum of our leadership in the school district, and we are a part of this community. We care a lot about what's going on in our school district. We care a lot about what's going on with our students and our community at large. So if there's anything that's ever needed from us, please feel free to reach out to me or anybody from my team. But like I said, we currently provide breakfast, lunch, after school snack, supper, vending, and all catering services. The only thing we currently don't do for the district is concessions, and we would like to get involved in the concessions process for Camden High and Woodrow Wilson to help drive that forward as well and take some of that off the plate of our athletic directors that are really driving a really, really good program in terms of sports in those schools. But I mean, we're here, we're committed, we're long-term, we're partners, and we enjoy what we do, and we hope that the community enjoys what we're doing here as well.
And now it's time for a Spanish language summary of the news.
El superintendente se complace al anunciar que después de la adición de 11 nuevos coordinadores este verano, ahora hay un coordinador de la escuela comunidad en toda y cada escuela. Casi la mitad de los coordinadores ahora hablan español, lo que se refleja mejor las necesidades de nuestras familias. Además, más de la mitad de los coordinadores viven en Camden. A partir de la realización de visitas a los hogares, a la celebración de talleres para padres, coordinadores escolares comunitarios, se abren todo tipo de puertas para la aparición de la familia en toda la ciudad. Decenas de padres vinieron a la escuela Cato al fin de septiembre para la charla informal anual del distrito. Alojado por Marilyn Torres, del Centro de Padres de Distrito, la charla informal dio a los padres la oportunidad de escuchar directamente del superintendente y los miembros de su equipo, incluyendo la jefe del Departamento de Participación Familiar y Comunitaria, Tia Morris. Preguntas tocaron en la tecnología, la matrícula, apoyo escolar y, por supuesto, la participación familiar. En la escuela Wiggins, los estudiantes de cuarto grado están plantando flores, lechuga y muchas otras plantas. El nuevo jardín de la escuela es posible gracias a una subvención recibida este verano por la señora Divine, a través de la Sociedad de Agricultura de Nueva Jersey. En el jardín y en el salón de clases, los estudiantes están participando en el aprendizaje práctico para profundizar en su conocimiento de matemáticas y ciencias. En la escuela Cado, la señora Marciantonio y tercer grado de la señora Gross celebraron su amor por la naturaleza con los voluntarios de Día del Árbol en el parque de Stockton. El distrito donó 200 bolsas de abono extra para los voluntarios, que plantaron 100 árboles en el este de Camden. Además, más de 150 estudiantes de varias escuelas participaron en un proyecto ilusionante en el río Delaware, como el superintendente informó en la reunión de la Junta de octubre. En esa misma reunión de la Junta de octubre, Superintendente Rohani Ford lanzó el tercer informe trimestral sobre el compromiso de Camden, el Plan Estratégico del Progreso Escolar del Distrito. Cada 3 meses, el superintendente da actualizaciones acerca de cómo el distrito está haciendo para cumplir las promesas que figuran en enero cuando se lanzó el plan. El octubre fue también el mes nacional de prevención de la intimidación, y las escuelas y los empleados de la oficina central tomó una postura activa. Por último, el Centro de Desarrollo de la Primera Infancia acogió la Noche Preescolar en octubre. La Noche Preescolar es un evento anual que invita a los padres de los estudiantes futuros de preescolar a recorrer el centro y aprender más sobre el programa. La educación de la primera infancia es un comienzo importante para los estudiantes, y muchos padres respondieron con una gran participación.
Finally, for this episode of CCSD News in Review, it's time for Express Yourself.
Express yourself.
Well, at my high school, I wish I would have been more challenged so that when I came to college, it wasn't a big surprise to be challenged. I also wish that we would have covered more in our AP Bio, since I did take it because I know I was going to be a bio major in college. I wish we would have covered more and went deeper into detail and not moved as slow as we did move. I feel like in high school we would complain until our work was dumbed down for us, and then it was, and then we would be happy. But now in college, I'm realizing how that's made me struggle, because college professors are not going to dumb down your work.
If the students really want to do good, they'll try their best no matter how hard or how easy the curriculum is. So I guess the importance would just be to let the students know, like, if you really want this, you really have to work hard. We're not going to make it easy for you. We're not going to make it harder than it needs to be, but you guys need to know what you're doing before you go to college. Because if you want to go to college, you're going to need to be challenged now, because you're going to need to be prepared now.
My advice that I used to give to everybody when I was on the board was to not let the stereotype of Camden or coming from Camden distinguish you or speak for your future. You should speak for your own, and you should believe that you can do anything you want to.
Thanks for watching this episode of CCSD News in Review. As always, you can send us tips for stories and questions to communications@camden.k12.nj.us. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch this video and many others on our new YouTube page. For Brendan and the entire CCSD team, have a great day.